because so much of this season has been God challenging me with a couple big questions. So I know the first one is, what's more important to me? Is it God or is it his gifts? And Phil Vischer, actually, one of my colleagues, Peter Mueller, always knows that just the right thing to send to me at the right time. He and my mom, they have that gift. And he sent a video to me of Phil Vischer from, I think 2010. And he shared C.S. Lewis's quote that says, he who has God and everything else has no more than he who has God alone. And the day I first heard that, it just changed everything for me, because I realized that so much of my Christian life has been, hey, God, can you give me this gift? Can you open this door for my company? Can you bless my wife and I so that our pregnancy will be successful? And these are amazing, good things that a good father wants to give. But I realized that God wasn't enough for me. And this season has got me to a place where God has become enough for me, where adversity after adversity, I can pause and I can just say, God, I love you. I believe and I know that you are good, even without this good gift. And I think a related question that I've had to wrestle with in this season has been, is God good in my life or in our lives as believers because he protects us from bad things, or because he's present with us in bad things, right? So is he protecting us from our pain or present with us in our pain? And I think, honestly, for most of my life, I just chose, I want keep the bad thing away. And God has used this season to challenge me to get to a place where every day I get to say that your presence is what I want, is what I desire. And that has impacted where I find my identity. So is my identity in being walking in this calling to use botanicals to improve the lives of people, or is my identity in just being loved by God? And I think the last kind of high level question that has helped bring out some lessons for me is around this idea of, am I working as a slave or as a son of God? And I share that to point to the fact that most of the past 7 years, I've drank the Kool-Aid of grind and hustle as a founder, no days off. And, my phone is with me when I'm having dinner with my wife. And there were seasons, I remember when we first won the Forbes 30 under 30, I was sleeping with my laptop every day because I'm like, I have to do even more. And when the factory burned and when we realized that we had to completely restructure our business, God said, I need you to start resting. I need you to start taking a Sabbath. I need you to start setting better boundaries for work. And it's been 24 months almost of back-to-back adversity, but and I have not perfected this, but I can say that by God's grace, I'm progressing in this and setting better boundaries. And my wife will call me out if I stray too far. And so, just to kind of sum that up, I think the big lessons are around really loving God and pursuing God for Him, not His gifts. Secondly, being excited and acknowledging that God is good because of His presence in our pain, not simply the times when He protects us from pain. And then I think a third big lesson has been, how do I work alongside God as a son who rests rather than as a slave who is constantly striving and grinding and hustling without his loving father guiding him.